Kinds of firearms according to loading mechanism. First is the manual loading or single shot bolt action. So this requires the shooter to manually load each round for every shot. Examples include bolt action rifles is valued for precision and reliability. Second is the semi-automatic, which is self-loading after each shot. So this is automatically chambers the next round after each shot. One shot is fired per trigger pull. Examples include semi-auto pistols and rifles, popular for sport and personal use. Next is the automatic or your continuous fire while trigger is pressed. Fires continuously as long as the trigger is pressed and ammunition is available. Examples includes machine guns, typically restricted to military or law enforcement use due to high rates of fire. Kinds of firearms according to firing mechanism. So first, the percussion cap is a small metal cap containing a shock-sensitive explosive compound, typically mercury fulminate. Next is the center fire ammo is a type of cartridge where the primer, the little ignition spark that sets off the gunpowder. It is located right in the center of the base. It's the most common type of ammo for rifles, handguns, and even some shotguns. Next is a rimfire cartridge. Is a metallic cartridge in which the priming compound is located within a hollow rim at the base of the casing. When the firearm's firing pin strikes the rim, it crushes the priming compound, igniting the propellant inside the case and firing the bullet. Next is the electronic ignition in firearms replaces the conventional mechanical firing pin mechanism with an electric current to initiate the propellant charge. This technology originated from the desire to eliminate lock time delays, improve reliability, and enable precise control over ignition in both small arms and large caliber systems. Next is the kinds of firearms according to loading mechanism. First, the muzzle loading. Powder and projectile loaded from barrel's front. This is a firearm in which the powder and projectile are loaded from the front or muzzle end of the barrel, unlike modern breech loading gun. So next, the breech loading. Cartridge loaded at rear of barrel is a method of loading ammunition into a firearm from the rear end of the barrel, which is integral to the design of the weapon. Last is the magazine feed. Multiple rounds stored in magazine are type of firearm that uses a detachable magazine to store multiple rounds of ammunition. Two groups of firearms. First is the shoulder-fired weapons are the infantry squad's primary means of influencing combat by either directly engaging targets or suppressing an area to allow another element to maneuver, while other soldiers not directly in the front line may more often have the weapon for self-protection. Next is a handgun is a type of firearm designed to be held and fired with one hand. It typically fires a single projectile or bullet and can be used for various purposes, including target shooting, hunting, small game, or personal self-defense. Handguns are generally categorized in two main types, which is pistols, which have a single centenary chamber, and revolvers, which feature a rotating cylinder with multiple chambers. So the key distinction of this is designed for two-hand versus one-hand operation. The last one is the caliber 45 M1911A1. So it is a semi-automatic single-action pistol chambered in 45 ACP widely used by the United States military from 1911 through the late 20th century. So it is an updated version of the original M1911 designed by John Browning and adopted by the U.S. Army in 1981. It was modified in 1924 and redesignated as the M1911A1 to address issues identified during field use, including improving the grip safety, adjusting size for better target acquisition, reducing the trigger pull, and rounding off sharp edge for easier handling. The pistol became a standards sidearm for the U.S. military through World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. It remains iconic in military, law enforcement, and civil contexts due to its reliability, stopping power, and durable design. So, the feature of this is the semi-automatic pistol, 45 AC cartridge, and the 7-round magazine.